Hello, good evening, and welcome to the holiday edition of Business Live. I am Emmanuel Abwaji Biafe. Coming up in today's edition, Economist takes a look at Ghana's economy 56 years after achieving a republican status and whether it has really been independent of colonial rule. Businesses to struggle more in securing credit from financial institutions due to rising loan defaults as CDH Savings and Loans tightens its conditions to offer credit. And this year's Joy FM Bridal Fair brings together businesses to provide solutions to the needs of prospective marriages. These are the headlines. We're getting you the details right after this.
Business Live today is brought to you by GCB Bank.
Thanks for staying and welcome back to Business Live. Now, businesses will now have to struggle more in securing credit from financial institutions. This is because some microfinance and savings and loans companies have also indicated they're cutting lending to businesses. Their action follows a similar move by commercial banks because of the inability of firms to pay back loans on time. CDH Savings and Loans is the latest institution to go this way. Group Chief Executive of CDH Holdings, Emmanuel Edu Sarkodie, tells Joy Business they have been forced to take this action because of the current economic environment.
People are less able to pay their loans as they should, and obviously the thing to do is to cut back on how much loans you do and do a bit more treasury operations and hope that when things begin to turn, then you can advance a bit more money. Because, I mean, most businesses are having a hard time. The power situation didn't really affect business. It was palpable. You could feel it, whether from the steel companies or from even people in small-scale manufacturing. They all felt it, and so you have to really bear with them, restructure some loans, ensure that you put in measures so the loan doesn't go bad. Regulation is just as tight as with the banks, and so you really have to be measured in what you're doing, and your risk mitigation measures must be very high in times like this. Otherwise, you could run into some difficult times if you are overexposed to certain sectors of the economy. There are several ways of getting revenue from savings and loans. I indicated that we do a lot more treasury operations now. Now, you don't necessarily have to, you can lend, but you must lend with a lot of prudence on your side. In the days when the economy is doing well, anybody can walk in with very little experience. If he has a year or two experience, you can perhaps look at him and say, well, even though collateral is not adequate, you will lend. But these days, you want to make sure that the procedures are followed to the letter, because the chances of default is high.
The CEO was speaking to Joy Business after the annual general meeting of CDH Balance Fund. The mutual fund ending last year, returning more than 17% to investors, whilst total funds under management grew by 24%. Now, moving on, the Ghana Association of Vegetable Exporters has expressed concern the ban on some vegetables exported into the European market would not be lifted, contrary to government expectations. According to the exporters, there are still outstanding issues to be dealt with. Darrell Kwao has more.
It's been 9 months since the ban on exports of some vegetables into the European market was enforced. Government is positive progress has been made so far in meeting quality standards as indicated by the Director in charge of Logistics and Value Chain at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Paul Bartels.
The ministry has in place an export strategy which is looking at all that we're doing, especially the horticulture sector. And we are seeking to raise, if you like, the bar to such an extent that whatever would come out of Ghana for export meets the international standards. And to ensure that that is done, we have the track project, or what we call the trade-related and quality enabling program, which is supporting key institutions like the Ghana Standards Authority, Food and Drugs Authority, Plant Protection and Regulatory Services. These are key institutions that are involved in the horticultural sector that the track project is equipping and has equipped, to ensure that we have very high standards.
But speaking to Joy Business, General Secretary of the Vegetable Exporters Association, Daniel Aladi, was apprehensive about the progress made so far.
I admit some actions are being taken, because today if you go to the airport you see some few changes there. Farmers are being sensitized to ensure that they do things differently from we used to. So yes, something is being done. But the point is, a lot more need to be done. What we need to understand as a country is that within the export business, there are some basic infrastructure logistics that as an exporter you can put in place. There are some that require millions of dollars that need to be put in place by the states. If you go to the other jurisdictions, you see cold houses, pack houses. These are $1 million projects in strategic locations. Then the exporters make use of them. So yes, on the ground, some work is being done on the farms. Farmers are being trained, but to meet the European standard of good vegetable export, we need a lot more things to be done.
Mr. Aladi also explained the effect the ban is having on vegetable farmers.
Farmers who were producing vegetables for export are virtually not producing anymore, because this is an area they see as a bit more profitable than those who do for the local market. So they've been used to this for a very long period of time, and they rely on this to take care of themselves, their family, and their household. Today that the exports are not going, the others, the few that are being exported, the market will always want an exporter to ship various commodities in one consignment. So if he knows you cannot bring everything together, he abandons you and deal with other exporters from other countries. So even those that are not banned, we are unable to send a lot of them. So the farmers have to stop business, and I believe you understand better how this, because they don't earn any money.
In September 2015, the EU placed a temporary ban on some vegetable export from Ghana, citing improper documentation for exports and presence of pests on produce.
Now, 3 years after independence, on the 1st of July 1960, Ghana became totally independent of colonial rule. Now, total independence also meant not relying on any other country for assistance to meet its budgetary needs. But has Ghana's economy been really independent till now? Economist Dr. John Gachi shared his thoughts on the economy 56 years after Republican status.
Over a long period of time, our manufacturing base virtually collapsed. Our industries actually collapsed over time. We have to be depending so much on foreign goods and in some cases services. Introduction of oil in the revenues does not actually change that particular position. When we actually had the republic settled, we could not finish up the work of cutting our ties in terms of over-reliance on the industries of the West. We didn't enhance in some of the industries that were put up during those early periods. Along the line, some of them were not functioning. Some of them have to be privatized. And the status of those industries before they were privatized were so bad that they could not even be brought back to operation by the new private owners. So that has been the situation. And then we have to go to the IMF, depend on the World Bank for assistance here and there, depending on our colonial masters from time to time. Even when we came to democracy, we have to depend on the West for support for our democratic process. In terms of security, we have to depend on them. Even though we cut our links, but in reality, we are depending on the industries of the West in order to survive within the new framework of economic activities of the country. That is the reason why we cannot say that because we have Republican status, we actually cut links with the West.
Now, the evolution of wedding planning over the years has generated lucrative business ventures for many. Now, Joy FM every year brings together such businesses to provide a total solution to the needs of prospective marriages. Now, 2016 edition of the Joy Beauty and Bridal Fair has opened at the Accra International Conference Center, with businesses not only showcasing their products and services, but offering discount packages and exclusive services to patrons. Sarah Josu has more.
The Joy Beauty and Bridal Fair is a convergence of all players in the wedding industry. And every patron of this fair can be rest assured that their expectations will be met. Weddings are touted as the big day for every bride, and one major element of concern is the gown to be worn. If you yearn to walk down the aisle in style, then Ruby's Bridal has exactly what you need.
I'm coming on board with quite an amazing and unique and exclusive collection. This bridal fair, I'm coming with a lot of mermaid, fit and flare, embellished and beaded gowns, which are quite very unique this year.
Making the right choice of cosmetics for your makeup can be a cumbersome ordeal. But guess what? Power Cosmetics got all your beauty needs covered with the right products for a long-lasting effect.
This year we have in line our liquid lipstick. Liquid lipstick is a lipstick that is made in a liquid form. It goes on and then it dries and it stays matte. And what is so unique about a liquid lipstick also is that the duration of it is quite long. This is something that can stay on your lips for like up to 12 hours, and you don't need like a touch-up or anything like that. So that's one of the new things that we are bringing, exciting. And we've also introduced our high-definition line, and the customers will also have the chance to see everything in the high-definition line as well.
The men were not left out in this. Don't stress by moving from one shop to the other in search of tuxedos, shoes, etc. Visit the stand of Prince Collections and sort yourself out with the best in menswear.
Prince Collection seeks to provide exclusive men's outfits, and accessories for all occasions. Seeks to provide them exclusive wedding outfits for them to be able to, enjoy their wedding or have a very good wedding. We are good to provide them with good wedding suits. All varieties, different types of them. Wedding shoes like the patents and the nice tuxedo shirts, the bow ties, so they are good to go.
Make a bold fashion statement with the Fushini Group, who will also be around to style and accessorize your look with their amazing jewelry collection and a special package for every diamond ring purchase.
For our diamond rings, we are offering 25% off. So any diamond ring you pick, the minimum percentage off you get is 25. It could be higher than that. Everybody who visits our stand gets a discount coupon, which is valid not only at the fairgrounds, but also
in our store, and the discount coupons is good till December, so they have a long time to decide what to buy with. We will be giving out gifts for people who buy from the store, which I don't want to mention the type of gift, but it's very exciting gift. And then the other thing is our rewards program. So for anybody who comes in our store, we register the person as a customer, and anytime they buy, we reward them for buying with us.
If you are indecisive with any issue pertaining to interior decor and other household needs, Orca Deco has this for you.
We have discounts available for anyone who comes in and who visits our stand during the fair, and even after the fair, just walk into Orca Deco. And also we are giving interior decor service to people who might be confused, which color should I use, what should I do, souvenirs, even for souvenirs for your engagements, we have them too. So just come, we just need your presence at either our showroom, especially at our showroom, and also if you come to our stand at the fair, we'll give you coupons to, have a great shopping experience.
There's no celebration without good refreshment. Yomi Yogurt is more than willing to help you make a healthy decision. They have great deals for you.
For anybody who comes there and wants to strike a deal for refreshment after wedding, we have a special package for that. But again, for the general public, we are introducing new product that will sample everybody over there. And again, we have a package that we sell at a reduced price. We call it the family size. The people can buy and they enjoy it with their families in their homes. So we have a lot of package for different category of people who come over there.
On the 30th of June through to the 3rd of July 2016, the Joy Beauty and Bridal Fair will provide all your ceremonial needs at one location, the Accra International Conference Center. Be there.
Now, businesses have been urged to shift focus to unknown entities in the execution of corporate social responsibility projects. The Access Women Network made the call when the members presented renovated classroom blocks and items to the School for the Deaf in Ashaiman, Tema, as part of their week-long activities. Sarah Josu again has the rest of the story.
The Access Women Network comprises female employees in Access Bank, created to promote collaborative support among women in the bank whilst impacting on society. The presentation to the Tete Oklu State School for the Deaf in Ashaiman, Tema, is part of the group's mission to promote a healthy learning environment, especially for the physically challenged. The vice president of the network and head Human Resources, and Obin Abebiu, impressed on companies the need to identify and support such lesser-known institutions.
As part of our corporate social responsibility, we also have what we call employee volunteering program. And what we do is every member of staff in Access Bank is expected to give of themselves into their community. So this is part of our EVP, which also is a pillar of one of our CSR as a bank. We're all Ghanaians, and it's very easy to sit back and say what is not right or what the state is not doing right, okay? But I think if each and every one of us contributes to the community in our own little way, it can go a long way, because we are all responsible for the country in which we belong to. And that really is my message out to any corporate institution, that we should all look for. Because most of the time when we're looking to support institutions, we look for the obvious, okay, where everybody goes to. When I came here, the first thing that struck me is these children live in an environment of silence. So they don't even have a voice to speak, so we should look for lots of other interventions and try and contribute a little bit, because it goes a long way.
Apart from engaging the pupils of the school in several activities prior to the presentation, members of the Access Women Network also underwent a training in sign language to offer better services to their physically challenged customers. For Joy Business, Sarah Josu.
You're still on Business Live. We're taking a short break. We'll be coming back right after this.
Business Live today was...
It's now time to take a look at how the markets have been performing over the past 4 days. And Bertha Atubiga, our stock market analyst, has joined me here right in the studio. Bertha, good evening and welcome.
Thank you very much.
So let's have a retrospective effect of the markets from Monday.
Okay, this week the markets actually did very well, not as well as we saw in the previous week. But when you look at the volumes of shares that actually traded, we had quite a number of shares trading, especially with the block trades that we had on the market. ETI traded a couple of shares. We also saw some low-priced equities trading very high volumes of shares on the market. But on the go, we had some equities. That's GOL. GOL lost about £1 this week on its share price. And one of the things we could say, just a normal thing, it's responding to what the market's actually going through, the very state of the market, and that's what happened with GOL. And look at some other equities. Okay, when we look at the price changes of most of the equities that traded this week, we can compare it to previous week. Because last week we had very high margins in terms of price appreciations, especially for FML. But this week we didn't experience that. We saw EGH, we saw GOL losing some peso. EGH gained on 2 occasions, that's 2 trading days on the market. So the market was generally good. Volumes of shares will not be as high as last week, but on the general note, we can see that price appreciations were marginal as compared to previous week. And then
in the early part of the week, we saw that the effect of Brexit was having taking a toll on the bonds in our country. How do you respond to that?
Yes, because our bond market is not like where probably when you're going to pay the returns is going to be in dollars, like we have foreign investors investing directly on the stock market. The bond is issued for a long period of time, for like 3 years and all that. And if you are investing, know that these bonds are Euro bonds. Okay, so they have this relationship with the UK exit from the European Union and all that. With that correlation, definitely we'll see an impact on the bond market. But this week, early part of this week, we saw the price of pound. The pound actually appreciated marginally against the cedi on our currency market. Even on the world market, we saw the pound appreciating by over 3%. To the dollar, and that could say that there could be a rebound, but for the short term we could see a recession in the UK market, and that could also affect our bond market in the short term.
Now tell us about the currencies. In the early part again of the week, we also saw the cedi appreciating against the pound sterling. Then somewhere in the middle part of the week, it then depreciated again. What could be the result? Yeah, because it's actually responding to what's happening on the global markets. We saw the pound do very well. I think it appreciated by 3.6%. That was on Tuesday or Wednesday, and we saw that effect or impact on our cedi, our forex markets. The cedi actually lost to the pound, and we saw the pound firming slightly against the cedi, because on the world markets, the pound actually firmed up a little. Right. Yeah. Now to the commodities. How did the gold, the crude oil? Crude oil surprisingly has fallen. It's now below $50 per barrel. You know, it was actually around 50 and a little above $50 per barrel. But now the price of crude oil has gone down to about 47, 49 US dollars. Brexit impact? Well, we can say that. But the market also has a role to play. That's the suppliers and then the demand. If the supply outweighs the demand, then we could see the effect of prices going down. But if the demand outweighs the supply, then we could see prices shooting up again. All right. Thank you very much for your time. Bertha Atubiga is a stock market analyst. And we're taking a short break here. When we come back, it will be time for the interview of the day. Now, the UK remains one of the countries with the highest investments in Ghana. According to statistics from the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, it is the country with the second highest value of investments in the country. The UK is hoping to increase that, but Second Secretary of Prosperity at the British High Commission in Ghana, Tanya Williams, says this would require that Ghana makes the effort to grow its private sector where there are many opportunities for business.
As well as the micro and small enterprises, we should also be looking to develop that missing middle sector. Here in Ghana, there's a plethora of tiny, informal businesses, and there are lots of multinational companies, many of them British, such as Vodafone, etc., that dominate the market. And there's not enough happening in the middle. And you're right, addressing finance issues for the smallest is part of the solution to help them to scale up. But we also want to help those that are almost there to become established. And so we think that helping develop that middle sector will also inspire smaller companies to scale up. There's also the opportunity for the UK in developing a vibrant private sector here. We want to increase our trade relationship with Ghana. We want to have more UK companies come in to invest in Ghana. We want to increase UK trade and exports to Ghana. And the way to do that is to stimulate private sector growth, is to help those small companies become middle companies, and then perhaps in future build relationships where those companies are selling goods to the UK and vice versa. We're selling goods the other way.
Interview of the day was brought to you by
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
And on that note, we draw the curtains down on yet another edition of Business Live with me, Emmanuel Apuaji-Wiafe. You can always get interactive with us. You can tweet at Joy Business GH, and also you can go to Facebook. Our page is Joy Business. For more business news updates, log on to www.myjoyonline.com/business. Join us again on Monday for another package. Good evening.